Hey guys, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion and review. This one will be on Sword Art Online 2, Episode 6. So, this episode was, honestly, I liked it. It was pretty good. Starts off with an encounter between, the encounter from the last episode between Death Gun and Kirito. And pretty much this time it ends with Death Gun saying whether, you're fake, using the name, or you're the real thing. Someday I'll kill you. And Kirito starts freaking out and looks really scared. He sits down and like, oh, what the heck, I'd be like that too. All of a sudden, you figure out he's one of the laughing coffin guys, and he's gonna kill you. That's pretty dang scary. And of course, that's the whole Sword Art Online. The whole time he was in Sword Art, that's gotta, a lot of bad memories bringing that up again. And then we get I'm happy you got to see this. A flashback when Kirito is with the lead group in Sword Art, online, and they're going to the base of the player killer group, the Laughing Coffin, to take him out. And I read about it before, and I wanted to see it animated and stuff. Now we get to see it. So it's pretty much, the lead group, and they pretty much think that they're just gonna surrender because the lead group's got more people. Plus, they're all consist of the highest level players in the game, so the Laughing Coffin would probably just surrender. But it seems like their attack was leaked or something, because all of a sudden, boom, ambush! Here comes Laughing Coffin jumping in, and they're fighting him, and like it even shows this one part where this one guy's like backed in the corner, his health is in the red zone, and you could tell the difference between a killer guy and the regular dude, because they were like surrender, and he puts his sword out. He's like, hey, one more attack and you'll die. And they don't want to kill him. They're trying to capture him and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he goes crazy, jumps at him, and manages to kill all three of the guys. And it was crazy. By the end of it, they lost more than 10 people in the lead group, and that's a big number. Honestly, the lead group isn't that big, and losing that much guys, you can tell the difference between the Laughing Coffin guys who aren't afraid to die, and they rather die than surrender to them. And the lead group, who they're not normally fighting people, they're fighting monsters, so they don't know how to fight either. The difference between it, they'll stop and be like, no, we can't. I don't. I want. He wants. You rather them surrender than you have to actually murder someone. And by the end of it, they killed at least 20 of the Laughing Coffin members, which 2 of them were killed by Kirito. And you could tell it had a big impact on him. Having to kill people is definitely probably not, even if it's in the game, in that game, dying in the game means dying in real life. So that's gotta be scary. So then we're back with Kirito, and you can tell he's just really scared, and realizes the voice of that guy was the same as the recording of Death Gun, and then realizes, oh my gosh, that's Death Gun. Death Gun is a survivor of the Laughing Coffin group. Then Sinan appears, saying that he looks like he's a mess. Like, if this is how it is after your first match, she probably won't make it in the finals. Of course, that's not the reason. And as she's walking away, he grabs not both her hands, grabs her hand with both his hand, and just has this like freaked out look, like super scared. And she's like, seeing that face, it's like her face in the real world, and she's about to ask, is there something wrong? To which then he disappears into his next match. A match is shown, and the guy is like kind of far away shooting at Kirito, and he's just standing there like taking some hits and some just missing. He's just standing there until he finally like and he rushes in like a madman. And then it goes to the next match, the 4th match, so it skips over that match plus the match after that, to which he's just running at the guy, blocking but still taking hits. So he's being careless. He's not the normal Kirito, calm and collective and ready. He'd be dodging the stuff plus blocking him so he won't get hit. This one, he just ran at the guy, shooting and blocking until he finally got up to him, jumps over, slashes him, wins. After that, we get the semifinals for Sinan versus who she's going against, and you can tell obviously she's a little off too, because her mind's pretty much on Kirito, like, and why he looked like that. And then that's when a rock, because then it's lucky for her, she's a sniper, the guy's an assault rifle, so if he gets in close, it's game over. But it's a huge city area, she's on a building, the only way for him to get to her is across this one intersection. So she's aiming at it, but then of course she's not thinking straight. So all of a sudden she sees movement, shoots it. It's a rock. It was the guy was trying to use that as a distraction so he can get in close. So he's driving in a car all the way at her, but not good enough. Crazy ass shot through the window gets him. Easy for her. And after that, it's finally the finals for the group qualifiers between Kirito and Sinon. And of course, no matter what, both of them go to the main tournament. But yeah, so the map is the map is on a bridge, and she thinks that the only way for him to get to her is he's got to sneak through the shadows to find her. So she gets on this double-decker bus, gets on the top floor, and stays there because she only has one shot before he finds out where she is. So she's planning on taking him out with that one shot. And she really can't focus, pretty much, of course, as because of Kirito, and thinks like, why does she want to beat him so badly? Is it, because he's, like her? Until finally she shakes it off and then sees him walking in the distance towards her. And at first she's like what the heck? He's just walking at her, does he think he could just dodge her? And then realizes, no, he's not even interested in dodging, which starts getting her heart rate up and getting, I guess, pretty much pissed off. Like he's not taking it seriously. And you can tell, when they said before, depending on how calm your heart rate or whatever, the aiming thing will, go crazy. Hers was like, and then she just yells out, screw it, shoots, misses him, hits the car, explodes behind him, starts shooting over and over again, missing every shot. He's not even moving. You tell she's, not she's not calm at all. And then finally she gets up, runs up to him, and she's like, why does this not fight matter to him? Does fighting her not matter? Something like that. And to which Kirito answered that his only goal is pretty much to make it to the main tournament tomorrow, so he doesn't have a reason to fight. And Sinon starts getting mad, thinking that Kirito figures, just letting her win will satisfy her and make her happy, and that this is just a single match in a virtual game. And then she starts to tear up and says, don't assume that I think the same way. Then Kirito then says, I'm sorry, I was wrong. He realizes, he says, it's only a game, it's only a single match, but that's why we need to fight as hard as we can. Otherwise, we don't have a right or reason to live in this world. And he thought he knew that before, because that's what he, thought before. And then he decides to make it up to her, to which they have a duel. And he says, they'll be 10 meters away from each other. He'll use his sword. She uses her sniper because she has one bullet left. And he takes a bullet out of his gun, and he says when the bullet drops, the match starts, and whoever wins this wins the match. So Sinon agrees because she's curious, like, does he have a plan? What is he gonna do? And she thinks that he's crazy because at this distance, her sniper will have 100% hit chance. So no matter what, he's gonna get hit, and the prediction lines won't help him at that range. To which Kirito says, we won't know until we try, and that really gets her curious, like, what is his plan? So he flicks the bullet, and right when it lands, Sinon shoots at him. And the bullets fly at him, and whooshing, just cuts the bullet in half. And both bullets fly to both sides, and she's like, what? And tries to take her pistol out, but trips backwards, and Kirito grabs her, holds her, like, pretty close. And I'm like, what the heck is this needed, Kirito? You don't need to do that. But yeah, with his sword right up to her, neck. And the reason he knew how he predicted her shot was pretty much when, she was aiming at his knee, his leg, and he saw that. He saw through her scope, her eyes moved out, so he guessed that's where the bullet's gonna go. She's gonna aim there, And she was just amazed, and she sees that he's really strong and asks, if you're this strong, what are you so afraid of? To which Kirito says, this isn't strength, it's only skill. And she doesn't believe him, and asks, how could she become this strong? She's, that's what she's trying to learn. Because what happened to her and why she wants to be strong. To which Kirito then says, if that bullet can kill a person in the real world, and if you didn't shoot them, you or someone you loved would be killed. Could you still pull the trigger? To which Sinon starts to think, does he know my past? Because that's what happened to her. She had to shoot the guy to save her mom and stuff, and herself. But then begins to think, no, maybe he too, is like her. And Kirito then brings his brings her right up close to her, like so close. I'm like, that is Kirito. Come on, you have a Suna already. Turns off his lightsaber, his laser sword, whatever, and pretty much says, he's not strong. He can't do it anymore. He's not strong. If he doesn't even know the names of the 3 people he killed before, which of course are the 2 laughing coughing guys, plus I honestly forget what his name was. The guy in Knights of the Blood that tried to kill him, and he just closed his eye. He says he just closed his eyes, covered his ears, and tried to forget it all. So he's not strong. He then asks her to surrender because he says killing girls isn't his thing. Sexist. Nah, but whatever. And to which Sinon finally realizes how close they are. She starts blushing. At first I thought she was going to slap him or something, the classic. But she just blushes, pushes him away, and starts saying, the next time I won't lose, tomorrow, keep going until you find me. And then she finally surrenders, and the end of the episode is pretty much, it shows Death Gun, like, oh no, he's gonna go for you, Kirito. I give this episode 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of, got to show the laughing coffin stuff. Got to show Kirito, really, he's not just super confident right now. He's actually scared. He doesn't know. And his risk, he's just running up, going crazy, just not caring about it, and just the whole tournament, pretty much. We had to see more matches, of course. Pretty interesting. Really fast, though, of course. And yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I'm excited for the next episode, wondering what's going to happen, It's a discussion, guys, so if you want to comment something below, just comment below, and I'll try and answer if you have any questions. So until next time, guys, see ya.